comprised of Bertie, Chewan, Edgecombe, Hereford, Martin, Northampton, Tyrrell, and Washington counties. They are the counties that fell in Congressional District 1. From the very beginning, this process has been flawed. The entire redistricting process is yet another disenfranchising overreach that eviscerates the voting rights of North Carolinians. This exercise has brought increased relevance to a conversation that is long overdue for the state of North Carolina as it relates to a nonpartisan, independent redistricting commission. We are at this juncture because of the court's ruling on the unconstitutionality of Congressional Districts 1 and 12. Yet only one public hearing was scheduled for Congressional District 1. Out of the 24 counties, some in whole and partial, we released public hearing sites and locations on Friday, and not one was represented in Congressional District 1. Therein lies the problem. We are further disenfranchising the people who will be most impacted by this redistricting. And I have heard from very concerned constituents that I serve that they did not get an opportunity to voice their concerns with the process. I'm not sure how much concerns they could have been able to voice, because flawed in the process was that the criteria was not released until after the public hearing. When we did have a site in Halifax County, it's still far removed from the eastern counties that were served. Many of them have been redrawn and they're no longer in Congressional District 1. And that further exacerbates the problem because they feel that this was not done with the constituents in mind. This was done for leadership and for the Republicans to be able to protect their positions and their standing in as a 10-3 partisan preference. The proposed plan that was finally developed after these 4 days of exercises here in Raleigh adversely affects our citizens whose voices deserve to be heard in selecting their political representatives. If we are to become of, by, and for the people, why are we still drawing districts to select our voters as opposed to drawing districts that enable them to select who they want to send to Raleigh, who they want to send to the U.S. Congress to represent their concerns? The cartographic scales clearly lend to self-preservation as opposed to representation. Having served on the redistricting committee, and I'll close with this, it alarms me that there are so many unanswered process, administrative, budget, and cost questions. Moreover, the criteria that was used, excluding race, demographics, and communities of interest, raise even more questions to me on the potential violations of Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. While it has been claimed that race was not a factor in drawing the district, the outcome of the resulting lines must be weighed so as not to result in segregation and disparate impacts for minority representation. The net effect in these new maps, once again, North Carolina, is that we have wasted money, we have wasted time, and we will be right back at this drawing board for another time to try to get this right.
Senator Terry, Representative Terry, excuse me.